This conference will now be recorded.
Very good evening, all of you. So far, we had a discussion about different heads of incomes. Even we had a brief discussion about each one of the head, and we worked out many number of exercises. So in this particular session, we are going to be discuss about deductions under section 80C to 80U. As we all aware, under Income Tax Act 1961, there are many number of sections which consist of several chapters. So this particular sections, which is contained under chapter 6A, that is deductions under section 80C to 80U. Before going for a brief discussion about this particular section, before we want to know that what are all the different heads of income. It is one of the most head called income from salary, income from house property, income from business or profession, income from capital gains, and income from other sources. These are all the 5 different heads of are available as per income tax norm. We have to find each one of the head, what is the total income in the respective previous year. We have to calculate what is the total income, that is called gross total income or total aggregate income. Once you arrive this, then other aspects which are there, that is one is clubbing of your incomes, and other important thing is set off and carry forward losses. Once you got all these informations, only you can apply the deductions as per chapter 6A, called deductions under section 80C to 80U. So what do you mean by deductions? Because everywhere we are talking about the deductions. Whenever the government which is going to submit a proposed budget or interim budget to the respective financial year, so we are eagerly expecting what kind of deductions we could be possible in terms of salary people, or what kind of tax relief we can able to get, or what kind of tax slab rate, whether they are going to increasing or decreasing. All we are always eagerly waiting whenever the government is going to submit a proposed budget from the union ministry. Here, always the people, not only for individual, even the company or the business people are seeking how to reduce the tax burden. How to reduce the tax burden. Because in terms of paying for the higher amount of tax, so how we are going to reduce our tax burden? So how to reduce the tax amount? So this is our ultimate objective. So all these questions what you are having in your mind, so here the deductions under section 80C to 80U, which is going to you support to reduce your tax burden or tax amount. You cannot expect, or you cannot say that this is going to support for the tax lesser tax amount payable, or reducing our tax payable. Of course, partially it is correct, but partially as an individual or all type of assessee for a certain no aspects, so we could able to get some benefit. Say for example, if you are a salaried people, at the end of your life, if you want to live in a moderate life, or otherwise if you want to live without any debt, then what we are doing normally, we are contributing some investments, we are making some investments, we are doing some savings for us. So all these payments or all the incomes what you invested, or even there is no income, or even there is no relation to that, but it is a must you have to, it is a must you have to, in the state of being, it is a must you have to pay. Say for example, if you are taking a life insurance for our health, or if you are taking for the life insurance premium for our dependents or family members. Even there is no income, even there is no salaried people, even there is no single sources of income from your business or any other manner, but we are doing. So all which is inclusive under this. So therefore, the deductions, it is a very brief topic, but we are going to discuss in a short manner. So what are all the sections which is supporting, what are all the benefits as an individual, as well as the other kind of assets is how they are going to get the benefits. That is an objective of this particular session. So with this short introduction, so I'll start with the help of a very few PPTs. As I mentioned a little earlier, so all the provisions which containing about the deductions under section 80C to 80C, which is described in the chapter 6A of your Income Tax Act 1961. What do you mean by deductions? Look at the word, it is a deductions. So we are subtracting some amount of money, or we are paying some amount of money, right? So as far as income tax concept, so deductions is nothing but we are doing some payments, or we are making some investments by called incomes, or the state of being, whether there is no income or even there is no sources of income, or there is irrelevant to that, but it is must you have to make certain payments, certain investments, the state of being. All these called deductions. All these called, you are making some payments, you are making some investments, your state of the being, you are doing some thing so for your life. So all which comes under the category of deductions. So therefore the deduction is nothing but simply we are making some kind of investments, for making some kind of payments. So we are going to make an analysis all these payments or all these investments what you did, whether I am eligible to get a deductions. That is going to be carried out with the help of chapter number 6A called deductions. Okay. All these what so far we discussed, everything it is which is going to support indirectly chargeable income reducing, or reducing the tax liability, or increase the post tax income, or whatever the way the taxpayers which is going to reduce the um, payable tax amount that is own desired. So all which is comes under the category of deductions. So this is what we discussed so far. As I said earlier, there are 5 different type of heads of income, which is starting from section 15 to section 79 up to, right? So here I listed out 5 different heads of income. First, you have to calculate what is the aggregate income of all these heads. Once you calculated all these aggregated incomes from the 5 different type of heads, maybe there are some exclusively deductions which are there then and there as per the head. Of course, after arriving all these, finally we are going to calculate aggregate income, or otherwise we use the term called gross total income. Okay, so here I forget to mention another 2 important thing is, one is after arriving the aggregate income, you have to apply clubbing of your incomes, then set of carry forward and losses. Of after calculating aggregate income, you apply these two. So whatever the provisions which are viable, so finally you calculate what is the amount. Okay, so from that you apply the deductions what is available as per section chapter 6A, that is 80C to 80U. What eligible deductions, when you subtract from that income, finally what is the amount you are getting, that amount it is called a gross, sorry, taxable income, or otherwise net income. So therefore the prerequisite is we need 5 heads of income plus applying the provisions of a clubbing of your incomes and set off and carry forward losses. When you are making all these adjustments, then finally in the last stage you can apply the deductions as per chapter 6A. Finally, what is the amount you are getting, that amount it is called a taxable amount, or otherwise called a net income. What is the amount you calculated finally? For that, you apply the tax slab rate what is prescribed by the respective finance act. Finally calculate your tax amount. So this is the normal procedure we have to do. Okay, the next, before going to apply the deductions, first of all of you want to understand some of the basic rules should satisfy. Okay, so what is your gross total income? Okay, beyond gross total income you could not possible to deduct, you could not possible to deduct. Okay, the aggregate amount what you are calculated, it should be lesser than that your deductions will be. Okay, say for example I calculated aggregate income is 2 lakhs, but I deductions I made it for 2,50,000. No, not at all possible. Okay, it should be lesser than your aggregate income. That is the first important thing. The aggregate amount of deductions under section 80C to 80U cannot exceed of your total income. Here it is also very important thing is you are going to exclude the long-term capital gain under section 112, 112A, short-term capital gain 111A, winning from lotteries, cross-word puzzles. Why I mentioned here, so certain incomes as per the norms of the government or as per the act, they are having for the fixed percentage of a tax rates. So if you are having for any fixed percentage of tax rates, for those incomes are not eligible to apply these deductions, are not apply or not eligible to apply these deductions to deduct or to getting an exemption. So this is very, very important. Okay, so therefore the first basics rule should satisfy your aggregate income amount, the aggregate amount of deductions under section 80C to 80U cannot exceed your gross total income. The second one, all whatever the investments or whatever the payments which you made it, okay, all we need an evidence. Okay, an evidence. You have to submit your proof, otherwise you are not eligible to get any deductions as per the act. These two basic rules are most important. There are many number of authors are giving for a different purview, but I mentioned over here, okay, there are certain kinds of deductions, some of them which is going to encourage our savings, some of them which is going to support for a personal expenditure manner, few are which is going to socially desirable activities, and finally there are very few investments which is going to support, some are the economical growth related. So these are all the 5 ways which I categorized what are all the eligible sections which are comes under the chapter 6A of our Income Tax Act 1961. When you are working on income from salary, so we had a discussion about say for example employer contribution to RPF or employer contribution to SPF, similarly employee contribution to SPF, or similarly employee contribution to recognized provident fund. So we worked out employer contribution over there as per the Income Tax Act up to 12% is exempted, beyond the 12% it is taxable, but we didn't do anything about employee contribution. Why all these contributions are there, which is going to encourage our the savings potential. Even I mentioned earlier, so these are all the say potential savings which is going to support for our life, not only for our personal life, which is also going to support for our family members. That is the reason government is encouraging to do for making the savings potentials, either by contributing your money or either by investing in the mutual funds or by taking a policies for your life or your dependents. All there are many number of ways you can categorize, many number of ways you can invest, many number of ways you can contribute for your life. Okay, so out of whatever the payments you made or contributions you did or investments you did, now we are going to categorize what are all the possible extent to get an what are all the possible to possible extent to get claiming of deductions over these various sections. The first most important section is 80C, because we frequently heard about section 80C, especially for the salaried people. Even if you are a private employee or government employee, if you belong to the salaried category, so 100% you should aware about, so what kind of a contribution should I. So one of the familiar section, it is called 80C. So this 80C as well as 80CCC, 80CCD subsection 1. So when you are going to putting together all these, or otherwise I can say that the aggregate amount of these three investments what you did during the previous year, you can claim an exemption up to the extent of 1,50,000, up to 1,50,000. Say for example, I did under section 80C itself 1,50,000, 80CC I did 50,000, 80CCD subsection 1 I did for 50,000. So therefore 1,50,000, 50, another 50, therefore 2,50,000 you total investment made it during the previous year, but you cannot claim an exemption of all these in aggregate. Okay, so it is a maximum extent of rupees 1,50,000. This is the very important thing you please keep in mind. So what kind of savings I can able to, especially for amount paid or deposited towards life insurance, contribution to the provident fund set up by the government, a recognized provident fund, then 15 years PPF, that is public provident fund. If you are a normal people, you are not engaged with any salary, you are doing for your own business. So I am also thinking that after my life or after a certain period of time, so how could I live in a moderate way? So therefore I decided I'm going to contributing some amount of money. The contribution, it is called the public provident fund, then superannuation fund, then subscription to the national savings certificate for a period of 6 years, that is a maturity period is 6 years. Whatever the interest you received from NSC for the 5 years maximum extent, then tuition fees maximum of 2 children if your children are doing for a full-time study in India, amount deposited Sukanya Samriddhi scheme. I think all of you are known that after the BJP government become a ruling party, they introduced the one of the most important saving scheme, especially for the girl children. That is a Sukanya Samriddhi scheme. Then equity linked saving scheme of Unit Trust of India. Then whatever the investments you made it over mutual funds, LIC, then 5 years fixed deposit, either you did in bank or post office, and also whatever the payment or repayment you did for the purpose of purchase or construction of a residential house, and many other investments, all are eligible under section 80C as a qualified deduction, not only for the salaried people, for all. That is very, very important. So these are all the possible deductions you could are eligible as per section 60, as per section 80C. Then 80CCC, triple C. This is another important section which is going to support in respect of a payment of premium of annuity plan of LIC or other third party insurance policies what you have taken. Deductions is available up to the maximum of 1,50,000 rupees. If I didn't claim anything from under section 80C, then you can over claim up to 1,50,000. This is what I mentioned a little earlier. So yeah, clubbing of or aggregating of 80C, 80CCC and 80CCD are subsection 1. All these three, the total aggregate up to the extent of 1,50,000 rupees you can able to claim as a deductions under section 80C. Even you claimed out of these three sections, okay, in addition to the recently, I think maybe the 3 to 4 years ago, the government was introduced then another section 80CCD 1B called National Pension Scheme, contribution to the National Pension Scheme. Okay, so deduction available to the assessee whether they already claimed the aggregate of 1,50,000 rupees from the earlier sections, that is ATCs, ATCCC, ATCC D1, even though it is eligible to claim a deduction up to 50,000 rupees, that is ATCCD subsection 1B. Then 80D, in respect of a medical insurance premium for self and family members, as well as parents and dependents. Say for example, father and mother are both. Maximum deductions are available 50,000 rupees. In case of senior citizen, other citizens are eligible. Maximum extent of deduction is 25,000 rupees. If you have taken for a preventive healthcare checkup for yourself or spouse or parents or dependent children, paid by any mode other than even cash payment also are eligible here. Okay, up to 5,000 rupees you are eligible to claim as a deduction. Even you did beyond this amount, but this qualifying amount will not be changed. So therefore, what we understood, so maximum of 5,000 rupees are eligible to claim under this. So a section 80D, it is a medical insurance premium for self as well as their family members and also parents inclusive. Then section 80DD and 80DDB. So 80DD, in respect of maintaining maintenance including medical treatment of a dependent who are a person with a disability, maximum deduction, it is eligible 1,25,000 rupees in case of severe disability. The percentage was mentioned as per the act is 75% and above, and 75,000 rupees in other cases, that is normal disability. So therefore, section 80DD, which is going to support as maintenance including medical treatment of dependent. 80DDB, this particular section, the maximum extent you can claim 40,000 rupees for ordinary assessees. In case of senior citizen, you can claim up to 1 lakh rupees. Here, even self or a dependent relative also it is eligible under this section to claim. Section 80 DDB, dependent relative for medical treatment of a specified disease or ailment. So 80 DD only for person belonging to our family. 80 DDB which belong to our relatives also, the dependent relative, self relative or dependent relative for medical treatment. Okay, so there maximum extent is 1,25,000 in case of senior citizen, or other people can claim 75,000 rupees. Then 80 DDB maximum is 40,000 rupees in case ordinary assessees. In case of senior citizen, they can claim up to 1 lakh rupees. Section 80E, deduction in respect of interest on loan taken for pursuing higher education. Pursuing higher education. The deductions also available for the purpose of higher education for a relative also. Here only interest on loan, but not the principal amount you can claim. Okay, only interest amount, how much you paid during the particular year, that amount is the qualifying amount as per this particular section 80E. Deduction is allowed at the maximum of 8 years from the date of your repayment starts. Okay, say for example, if I started, I joined and studying for a 4-year engineering course. After the 4 years, only your repayment will start. Now it is they are extended for another 1 more year for your employment purpose. So from the repayment when starts, from there you can deduct your interest amount what you paid for maximum of up to 8 years. That is section 80E. Then section 80EE, 80EEA and 80EEB. These three sections, it is exclusively which is going to support us to claim. Okay, if you have taken any loan from the financial institution, for that whatever the interest you are paying, for purchasing of your residential house property. Okay, this deduction shall be available for certain conditions. Say for example, amount of loan is up to 35 lakhs. The value of residential property should be the maximum of 50 lakhs. Assessee does not own any other than this property what you purchased. Eligible exemption during the previous year 50,000 rupees. Then section 80 EEA, if your stamp duty value of the property what you purchased as a residential house does not exceed 45 crore, then up to eligible exemption is 1.5 lakhs during the previous year. Section 80 EEB, only are eligible individual assessees. Okay, say suppose if you bought a vehicle, electric vehicle, not for petrol vehicle. If you have purchased electric vehicle through any financial institution by taking a loan, for that whatever the interest amount you're paid, that you can claim extent of up to 50,000 rupees. Therefore, section 80 EE, which is focusing on purchasing of residential house property, so you can claim an exemption up to 50,000 rupees. Under section 80 EEA, your stamp duty value does not exceed 45 crore, then you can claim an exemption up to 1.5 lakhs. If you purchased electric vehicle through loan, for that loan what is the amount of interest you paid, then you are eligible to claim a deduction up to 50,000 rupees. But this deduction, it is exclusively available only for individual, not for all other assessees. Then section 80G, 80GG, GGA and GGC. 80G we frequently used or heard, it is called donations. Deduction in respect of donations to the certain funds, charitable institutions, etc. Here the donations what you did during the previous year, certain donations are 100% waived, certain donations only 50% are eligible for deduction, certain donations, certain limit or restrictions which are there. Up to that restriction only you can claim an exemption. This is about under section 80G with respect to donations. Then 80GG. Sir, actually I employed in a particular company, but I am not receiving any HRA. But I am still living in a rented house. I am paying a rent. If you are a person, then you are eligible to claim an exemption up to 60,000 rupees at a maximum. Okay. When rent paid in case of non-receipt of your HRA, 5,000 per month, a maximum of 60,000 rupees. Only individual are eligible for this, not for other assessees. Then 80GGA, deduction in respect of certain donations about the scientific research or the rural development. So 100% of some what you made it as a donation are eligible under this section, but the minimum amount of donation should be at least 10,000. That 10,000 should be paid only check or DD or other than cash mode, then only it is eligible. Then 80GGC, that is no other than Indian company. 80GGB, only Indian company. Donation if you made it to your political parties, in Indian political parties or any electoral trust by made other than cash, then it is eligible for a deduction under this particular section. Then section 80 RRB, then QQB, 80 TTA, TTB and U. Yeah, that is 80 U. 80 RRB, it is exclusively for royalty on patent rights. Maximum deduction during the previous year is 3 lakhs. 80 QQB, deduction in respect of royalty of books. Maximum deduction are eligible 3 lakhs. 80 TTA, that is interest on savings banks. Say suppose an individual maintaining an accounts, a savings bank account in a respective bank, whatever the transactions you made it, whatever the amount still not withdrawn out of the cumulative during the previous year, if you claimed interest on savings bank account, then you are eligible to claim deduction. up to 10,000 rupees if you are an ordinary. That is a not ordinary SSC. If you are a senior citizen, then you can claim exemption under section 80 TTB, maximum of 50,000 rupees. Maximum of 50,000 rupees. Then 80U, deduction in case of person with disability. Deduction in case of a person with disability, maximum deduction, general disability is 75,000, severe disability it is maximum of a 1,25,000 rupees. Okay, this is about section 80U. These are all the sections which are available. Okay, so what so far we discussed, deduction is nothing but in which you are making a payments or incomes or a certain state of being for your purpose, which is going to deduct from your gross total income. After arriving thus, you are going to calculate your tax amount. Okay, all these deductions which are contained under chapter 6A of your Income Tax Act 1961, which is starting from 80C to 80U. These deductions are certain deductions can eligible to claim only individual, and certain deductions are eligible for all kinds of assessees. Okay, so therefore the basic rules, what is important, whatever the deductions you are going to claim, the deduction amount should be lesser than your aggregate income or gross total income. That is very, very important. So whatever the payments or whatever the investments or whatever the state of being you did during the previous year, everything you should provide in a proof, otherwise you are not eligible to claim any deductions over these sections. Okay, so these are all the deductions which is going to support us to reduce our tax burden, or I can say that these are all the deductions which is going to support for your life. Okay, so here I have listed what are all the donations which are eligible for 100% deduction under the section 80G. What are all the deductions we are eligible for only 50% of deduction. Out of these two, certain extent which is available to deduct, that is donation eligible to the subject to the qualifying amount, that is 10% of your adjusted gross total income. Adjusted gross total income, how do I calculate? Gross total income minus long-term capital gain, short-term capital gain under section 11A, 112 and 112B, then less all deductions under section 80C2, 80U except 80G. Finally, what is the amount you are getting? That amount it is called adjusted gross total income. From that, you can calculate 10%. Then you can apply whether it is a 100% eligible deduction or a 50% eligible deduction. Okay. With this, okay, we will wind up today's session. So we will work out very few exercises in the next class. Thank you.